has had notes, and anybody that knows me knows that I don't have any notes. I told everybody my opening line, I got it from Dr. Dobler sitting right down here. I heard him do a talk. Teddy Roosevelt said you should do 3 things in a talk: be sincere, be brief, and be seated. I will do 2 of those 3 things. Donna Brown, I start the clock. She's the lead volunteer. Everyone in this room knows Donna Brown. They know Donna Brown as much as anybody, so I told her to be my timekeeper. After listening to everybody, I think I got leeway. Because nobody's gotten 5 minutes yet. I want to thank, is Carter Miles. I hadn't seen Carter, but Carter was in a few years ago, and he said, you know, there's more divisions, but let's say there's givers and there's takers. And the people that come up here, a lot of ones are the takers. We're the ones that have the starting times and are between the ropes and do the interviews and do these kind of things. But we could not be here without the givers behind us. And I've got lots of families here. You know, I've got my family. I have 3 unbelievable children and 3 unbelievable in-laws. Younger now, all of them, but they're my life. And I have my Georgia State family here. My brother coached at UNC. A lot of people know that. And I interviewed in '86 at Florida, at Arizona State to coach after the regular tour, and it didn't work out at the time. I talked to David Boyd and Danny about Georgia back in the mid-'90s, but I was just a ping rep and it just wasn't time. And so this last chapter of my life, I think I've had every job there is in golf. I mean, I've taught and I've played and I've coached and I've been a rep, and golf has been my life. And I never dreamed in a million years as a walk-on, it looked like our high school team was a school for the blind. And you know, I mean, somebody, if you had told somebody in 1965 that I was going to be standing here, they'd look you in the face and go, "You are stone cold crazy." Billy Andre tells the story that when he turned pro, Peter's just about his age. He got out in '84, '85, and he went out on the practice tee in his first tournament, and he walks up on the practice tee, and he walks down there with there's Jack Nicklaus, and there's Greg Norman, there's Tom Watson, and he's walking down the line, thinking, man, I don't know if I can do this. And then he says, then I come up to Joe Inman, and I think, God, if he can do it, There's got to be a way that I can get this done. And I've got my Atlanta Country Club family here, and you know, my sister Jeanette, my brother-in-law, my Steve Ridge, who's a pro in this section. And so I've got lots of families here. And I love this game so much. I love that it's hard. I love that it's cruel. Because if it wasn't, I could have never made it as a player. There were so many people with more talent than I had. And my son, who's just, you know, the sweetest person in the world, and he comes to me, I don't know, he's in college, he's in high school, I don't know how old he was. And he's been playing with our group out at the club, and he says, you know, Dad, I think I understand now why you're such good friends with Mr. Ferguson and Mr. Mike Brown. I said, well, why is that, Craig? He said, well, Mr. Ferguson makes you look patient, and Mr. Brown makes you look like you remember everything. He said, if you're around Mom, you just do everything wrong according to Mom. So, you know, it's like tonight, a lot of people are married out here, so we're in there getting ready, and she says, come here, let me look at your eyebrows. She says, get your eyebrows. Trim your nose, trim your ears, trim your ears. You got something in your teeth. Come here. You know, so, you know, she's going to be the last one that I talk about because she's the most important one, but the one who got me involved in golf, and you saw a picture of me with my dad. I was the oldest of 6 children. And John, we had 5 and 8 years, and Jeanette was the youngest for 7 years, and then here comes little Johnny. And when you're around my brother, be really nice to him. I mean, Mom and Dad had run out of jeans, and they'd just run out of chromosomes. Okay, so we all have to be nice to him and talk slowly. If you talk too fast, he doesn't get it. And I get it all the time that I'm the loudest person in the world. John was out at the club one day playing golf, and he's playing with our group, and he's standing on the first tee. He's over the ball. He's going just like this. And he goes, you know, I can hear him. He's on the first green. I can hear him. I can stand right here, and I can hear him. I don't know how many people walked in tonight and says, well, I knew where you were. I heard you. So I walked in the door. There you go. I looked right over there. I saw you right over there. So to all my families, to the Georgia State Golf Association, to Mike Waldron, who put me up for this, for the friends that voted on this, all the ones that are in there. Last night was so special, and I want you to understand, I just never dreamed. I never set out to go on this path. I never dreamed that I could ever be anywhere near this path. You know, I look at my family, and I look at Fat Daddy. We call him Fat Daddy. His locker said Fat Daddy. And Big Mom, that was my mother, and we had 6 kids, and whenever we'd walk somewhere with all the kids, they look at my mom and say, are y'all Catholic? And she said, no, we're just Careless Presbyterian. When you have 6 children, you really have to have a sense of humor. So she said, I call a spade a damn shovel. You know, I mean, that's just my mom was just. So you have to know how to keep your sanity. And what I found, we had a motto in my house growing up, and we all knew it, and we were all aware of it, and it was every man for himself, and God bless the weak. I mean, that's what's on the table. And they said, go, I mean, you better be the first one there to get that food. I mean, so when I went out in the world, it just didn't look that doggone hard to me. I mean, I thought, if I could survive the Inman house, by God, I could make it out here in this world. And my father spoke, Dan Marr's not here, but you know, and some of the friends, I always give them Fat Daddy-isms. You know, the way my dad spoke, it was like epistles, you know. I mean, I'm going to only give you 3 examples, but this is the way he would describe things. My brother, at 16 years old, we didn't have a lot of money. And so he knew Dad couldn't get him a car, so he says, Dad, can I have a motorcycle? And he said, son, I wouldn't get out of the electric chair to get on a motorcycle. Now, he didn't really answer the question, but you got an idea. And in 1969, if you look out there, you know, when my brother was a senior at University of North Carolina, he won the NCAA, was College Player of the Year, Fred Haskins Award, won the Western, runner-up, I mean, just won everything. And he didn't get Athlete of the Year in 1984 at the University of North Carolina. That was an Olympic year. And there happened to be this guy who played basketball for the University of North Carolina. Number 23, I can't remember his name. But Wake Forest, if you played golf and did anything, you could get Athlete of the Year. So I got Athlete of the Year in 1969, my senior year. I'd won the North-South and was first-team All-American. And my dad was there, and they said, Big Joe, what do you think about little Joe getting this award for Athlete of the Year? He said, that's kind of like giving the captain of Titanic an award for navigation. So this is a different generation. You see, that parents' generation, they weren't too concerned about your feelings. You know what I mean? And so after I got out of the Army, I was drafted after I got out of school. I was thinking about turning pro. I said, Dad, I think I'd like to play professional golf. He said, son, I like your enthusiasm a lot more than your chances. You had to fight at my house to get the, I just want you to know, and I say this to my children all the time, you know, Dad died in '82, John was 20 years old, I was 35 years old, and it was cancer, and I was there with him, you know, the night before, and I sat there looking at him, and I just completely broke down, and I'm talking to him, and I said, you know, see, I never doubted 1 second that he loved me. It's just that generation coming through as being a CB in the Navy and being put on the street when he was 12 years old and working in construction his whole life. He just had so many hard things. And he couldn't say, I love you. And I was sitting there talking to him. And I was looking at him and I'm holding his hand, and he can't push me away now because that's what that generation did. You know, they just wouldn't let you get close. And I just was bawling. And I just said, Dad, you know what's so sad is Craig was born in 77, so he's 5 years old. And I said, you know, I have my son, and I tell him every day that I love him. And it feels so good to me to hug him and to do that. And I know you wanted to. I know your heart. I know your feelings, and I know you wanted to. And I don't feel scarred. I just feel so sad for you that I have the rest of my life with Craig, and that you didn't tell any of us. You didn't allow yourself to feel that. And so, you know, I stand here. I want you to know Fat Daddy is here and Mama's here. A lot of you know my mom. She was my secretary when I was the Ping Rep, so some of the pros here and people have met my mom. But there's nobody in this room besides my family, besides Jeanette. I can't think of many people in this room who knew my dad. And when I watched Jim Stamps at 6'4", this big guy, you know, and my dad was big, and he truly was the loudest human being that God ever put on the face of the earth. He could stand in the middle of a job site, and somebody's on the fourth floor. Hey, you! All right, move over here. And they'd all hear it. And I look at it now, and I wish I could hold Dad. I've wished it every day of my life that I could. I just don't feel scarred, but I wish he could have had this. I wish he could have seen this. I wish he could have seen John win the NCAA and be College Player of the Year and see him mature and grow into this player at Carolina. My dad built Wake Forest. He went to Purdue, but he built Wake Forest, and he thought he was going to Wake Forest. And when the coach, Devin Browse, who coach knows, when Devin showed up and he'd just been promoted to coach and he knocked on the front door, he's gonna first offer he made as a coach was to Joe Inman to play golf at Carolina. And my dad answered the door and opened the door, and he says, hello, Mr. Inman, my name's Devin Browse. I'm the new golf coach at the University of North Carolina, and I'm here to talk to John. Dad just took the door and what? He shut the door and said, no. From North Carolina coming in my and John had to get, and John's standing there, if you know John, he's this sweet kid, and he's just crying, and he had to go out in the car and sit in the driveway because my dad wouldn't let him in the house. So, I mean, this is Fat Daddy, you know, but he knew he was going to go to Wake Forest. And I just wish he could be here. Jeff misses his dad, and I think about it all the time. The times I could have responded to him, and I didn't because we just went like this. I'm a fighter, and I'm only tell one golf story. I had to think about this since April, and I had to think what was the golf story I would tell that I most am proud of. And in 2005, we played the British Senior at Royal Aberdeen. Anybody's probably been to UK and played and been to Royal Aberdeen. Well, the wind, we go out there the first round and the wind's blowing, northeasters come in, it's blowing 40 miles an hour. Now to give you an idea, the cut at this tournament was 15 over par. The first day on the front nine, which is the long nine, which was now into the wind, they do the 50 hardest holes every year on tour. Well, 7 of the front 9 was in the top 10 on the PGA Tour as the hardest holes. The average score the first day on the front 9 was like 43. So I'm playing in the afternoon. I go out there and I par the first 3 holes. I got this. 8, 5, 8, 10. Birdie the 8th hole, like postage stamp, downhill, par 3, and then I make 6 on the double on the 9th hole. So we walk off the 9th green, and she's now out looking for balls, you know, because our group's lost. I mean, her and Doris Oakley are out, they're 4K. And she walks over to me, puts her arm around me and says, "Remind me why we came over here." Support. Support. So I shoot 51 on front. So the short story is this: I shot 34 on the back, 8 pars and a birdie, and then I shot 71, 73, 72, and I make the cut at 15 over. I play the next 27 even par. So at the end of the tournament, I made $8,200 in the tournament. I looked it up, and I made about 9,000 in pension credits. So there aren't many people, especially in today's world, who walk to the 9th tee, to the 10th tee, 15 over par, who are still trying. Who still, most people, what'd you come back with? A cab. And so I try to tell my boys on my team, Winston Churchill gave a commencement speech at Oxford the year after World War II was over, and he's standing there, and there's 5,000 people in this crowd, and he, in front of everyone, he stands there and he looks at them for a second, and he says, "Never give up, never give up, never, never." And sat down. So that, for me, I'm not good, I know that, but I'll fight, and I know how to make 4-footers, and if that food's on the floor, I'm going to get there first. That's the way I'm doing it. Now, the last person I want to talk about, Craig alluded to it. I have 3 children. As Jeff said, my wife has 4. And she has 2 sons, and I only have 1. You figure out who the other one is. And I don't know where I'd be. It's been 44 years. We'll be 45 years in August. And in our generation, you couldn't play house, so let's get married. You know what I mean? Now you play house, so they don't get married. So let's go play. Let's make it official. All right, let's go. So she was 21 years old. I was 24. I'd been in the Army, and I met her in the Army. And without her encouragement, I use a different word sometimes. Without her encouragement, when I show up somewhere, I have on the right clothes. Because she said, "Put this on, take this. You forgot this. Put this back in your thing." And this is why I can show up, Mike Holmes, at work. Because she has gotten me there and told me what to do and said be there, and at 2 o'clock you have to do this, and at 4:30 you have to do this. So I learned my line as a parent, as a dad. You have to learn your line. What did your mother say? They come to you because they know you don't know, so you have to learn your line. Well, I didn't ask her. Oh, well, that's because you know what she's going to say. Go ask her. So thank you, Nancy. I appreciate it. I argue with you sometimes. I know I'm terrible. I'm sorry I do that, but because I feel like it's picking sometimes, but I do need that, and I appreciate it, and we need to keep growing. We are not finished growing yet. I am still trying to learn. Okay? So thank you to everybody. And I just want you to know, I feel this is just the nicest thing that's ever happened in golf in my life. And I appreciate it. And I will be back here, and I will help anybody, anytime that needs anything in this game of golf, because people have been good to me, and the world has taken care. I've just had so many great things. My turn now to give back. Thank you very much.